Hi everyone, it's Heather Sparkles, and in today's thrift transformation video, I am going to be giving a makeover on this boring but very cute heart shelf. You can find these at most Goodwill stores in the US. They have an aisle just for this wooden stuff. So this shelf has a little bit of glue left on it. Looks like there used to be a little decoration on top. So I'm starting off this project by sanding that off. I'm sure that I could have tried something else to remove it, but I needed to sand this piece anyways, and that glue was actually really strong. So I'm just using this electric sander that my mom had, and I am just going over that glue multiple times. And then I decided that I was going to sand the whole front of this thing just to get it nice and light for the paint, and so that it would be nice and smooth and ready for the primer. I think that's how it works out. And I noticed there's a little ant down there at the very bottom, and I feel so bad blowing sawdust on him, but I didn't even see him at the time. So here I was going over it again and again, and then I wish I had gone over it once more with a little fine piece of sandpaper to get it perfectly smooth, but I'm very impulsive when it comes to projects like this. So here I was cleaning off all of that sawdust with a damp paper towel. This did leave some paper towel residue on it, so what I ended up doing after that was I took a little paintbrush and I brushed all that away. So I'm starting off the paint with some primer. This is just some regular primer that you can get at Lowe's or whatever hardware store you have nearby. I think this was a bare wood primer. I'm no expert when it comes to paint, honestly. I just kind of grabbed this. But so far so good. I really like this stuff. I've used it for multiple projects and it turned out just fine. I do try to prime all of my pieces before I paint them, so they're more durable and so the paint looks really nice. I really like watching this because I feel like it looks like I'm putting icing on a cake. Maybe I'm just really hungry right now, I'm not sure, but to me it's just really fun to watch. So I actually ended up putting, I think, 2 or 3 coats of primer on, I can't remember. And I'm just gonna skip that whole part. And there's gonna be a lot of times in this video where I skip all the different layers because, you know, you get the idea already. So on this day, I had just dyed my hair bright pink and I just wanted to do something different. So I decided to use this really bright pink paint, and it was very beautiful, but I just wasn't really feeling it. I'm so into pastels, but I decided to give it a try and it ended up not really working out for me. However, I would like to use this paint again in the future for a different project because this color is actually really beautiful, but I just had something completely different in mind for this shelf. So here I was putting on the top layer of pink. I put way too much paint on there because I didn't really have anything on hand to squirt the paint into. So I just kind of built it up on there and then I just kept wiping off the extra and putting it on the bottom shelf as well. This is the Neon Lights paint. I believe the color is called Pink Explosion. And I really like this because it's a very bright pastel. So it's a pastel that's still gonna stand out and not be too washed out. And I really like this color. It goes really well with a lot of different things. Looking back, I just love the energy that that pink heart in the middle had. But it just was gonna clash with everything I had displayed over in the corner where this is gonna be. So here I was putting some kind of fluorescent glitter paint I had over the pink heart, and that was around the time where I realized I didn't like it. So once it dried, I re-primed it, and then I made my own lavender paint mix because I was completely out of lavender, and I brushed it on there. Obviously it looks terrible because of all the brush strokes, but I'm about to go over it with a little sponge just to kind of even it out and not make it look so bad. So at this point, I was going in with a small brush and lining the area in between the two hearts. I'm sorry my camera went out of focus here. It's really hard for me to film projects like this while I'm trying to work on them. So I touched all of those areas up, at least on the purple side, and then I went over the purple with this really pretty pearly purple paint because the purple I had chose, it was just too dark and it wasn't really light enough, so I thought, well, let's just put some pearl paint over it, and I'm really glad I did because I think it turned out really nice. So at this point I'm using another color from Neon Lights. I think it says Knockout Blue, I can't really read it, and I am lining the edges of the shelf. So this blue always starts out very light and it dries a lot darker. So I am just gonna go ahead and put this on the whole edge of the shelf on the outside. A part you don't see later on in this video is that I do end up covering it with a gloss glitter varnish so that it'll be nice and protected and it won't get chipped or anything. So here's how the blue outer detailing turned out. I really love this. I think it looks like a lot of the stuff that I've been making on my iPad recently as far as like illustrations go. And I just love that look of like the hearts that have a different colored edge. So here is the shelf ready to go for the next step. I touched up all the ledges where the paint was showing through, and I touched up that middle area. So here I am using a metallic accents paint that is pearly. My mom gave me this, so I don't really know much else about it, but it's pretty nice stuff and I really love using it. I think it's pretty high quality and it looks really nice. So it was kind of hard for me to film that whole step, so here's just kind of what it looked like after. It's such a gorgeous pearl color. I love it. It's one of my most favorite paints, and I want to paint all kinds of stuff in my house with this because it's seriously the best. So here's where the project went completely wrong, as if it wasn't hard enough to have to change the middle heart color and redo that. So I was using this amazing clear glitter paint that I really love. I actually use this on like custom My Little Ponies, and I just think it's really fun. And I was so excited about this paint because it was turning out so amazing on the shelf. I think I put maybe 3 or 4 layers of this stuff, and I was painting at night, so it looked so darn good. I was actually painting it while I was listening to Shane Dawson's videos about Graveyard Girl, and it really inspired me. But anyways, look how pretty that paintbrush looks. So I mean, I was looking at this and I had like tears in my eyes. I thought, wow, this turned out stunning. I'm so happy with it. I cannot believe how good it looks. Until the next morning when I discovered how bad it all went. So when I walked in, I noticed that the shelf looked like it had gross Cheeto dust all over it or something. So this paint dries like kind of orangey, and the glitter only looks good whenever the light is straight on it. It kind of looks like the heart has stubble or something. It looks pretty darn bad in person, so that's going to be getting removed, and pearl paint's going to go over it, but let's cut to this before and after. So despite a few little hiccups, I still love how this shelf turned out, and I'm gonna find a way to fix that glitter layer to make it look a lot better, but for now, I'm just gonna leave it. The reason that glitter layer isn't gonna work out is because I'm gonna have it displayed in a spot that's facing away from the light, so it's not gonna look magical, but we'll figure it out. I'm also gonna have these guys hung up with this shelf sometime very soon because I'm finally gonna be bringing you guys my room tour 2.0, so stay tuned because that video is on the way and you will see these guys hung up and how I decided to set them up. I love you all so much. Good luck with your DIY adventures, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, everyone.